Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. This is the recap of the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. fight. So let's just break it down, recap it, and go over it. So it was a 12-round fight. Errol Spence Jr. won the fight. I think he won and dominated Mikey Garcia from the opening bell to the end. And I think he dominated using the jab. He boxed beautifully. Errol Spence Jr. shots, landed effectively, but they weren't elite level punching power as Mikey Garcia made it through the rounds. I think it was very interesting as far as the game plan that Mikey Garcia chose. I think that Mikey Garcia, he was struggling to find range and distance to figure Errol Spence Jr. out. Mikey Garcia did have a few rounds where he looked well. The only issue with Mikey Garcia on a lot of things is the range and distance, and also Mikey Garcia was having a lot of trouble letting his hands go, and that was partially due to the range and distance. Errol Spence Jr. is the bigger, longer man. Mikey Garcia wasn't able to walk through those shots easily, therefore he had to eat a lot of shots trying to find that range and distance. I think it was a phenomenal fight. I think it was a good fight. I think Mikey Garcia is still a warrior. He was very courageous. He showed why he's an elite level fighter. He displayed fantastic defense at times to the body. So he took away Errol Spence Jr.'s biggest weapon was body shots, but Errol Spence Jr. came and he proved to be more than what I even thought he could do. He proved that he's a top level boxer because he boxed with Mikey Garcia tonight. But at the same time, Errol Spence Jr. proved to be overrated as well because he couldn't stop a guy moving up in weight, 2 weight divisions. This went the distance, just like I said. I knew this would be a 50-50 fight. Either guy could win. So it's a partially wrong, partially right. I think that these guys showed a lot of heart and grit in the ring, but at the same time, Errol Spence Jr. size advantage, weight advantage, just as I stated, really was the difference in this fight. That was really what this came down to, and that's why we called it a 50-50 fight from the very beginning, because we knew that the only way that Errol Spence Jr. would truly win was because his size advantage. And now he was unable to stop Mikey Garcia, but he did box beautifully. He had better skills than I thought he ever had, and I have to give Errol Spence Jr. full credit for that and having those skills. I have to give Mikey Garcia full credit for going through the fight, showing courage, showing heart, and we can't be delusional. Errol Spence Jr. cleanly and effectively won this fight. There's no doubt about it. And so, we have to be unbiased in our analysis, and we give Errol Spence Jr. the props for getting rid of a guy 2 weight divisions lower than him in this fight. Now, Mikey Garcia, on the other hand, moving up in weight, coming at Errol Spence Jr., the biggest key and obstacle in this fight for Mikey Garcia was finding that range and distance, and that's something that Mikey Garcia, skill-wise, was just not able to overcome. I overrated Mikey to that point, believing that he had the skill set to overcome that range and distance, that power that Errol Spence Jr. had on that side, being able to land more effective shots, cleaner shots, being able to counter Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. had a better game plan than Mikey Garcia tonight. He used his size, he used his length. Even Floyd Mayweather was shouting from the corner, stating things such as, just use your jab, stay on the outside. And Errol Spence Jr., he did box beautifully tonight, but let's not take anything away from Mikey Garcia either. When you look at what Mikey Garcia did tonight, that was phenomenal as well to a certain degree. Mikey Garcia proved that he has an iron chin. Mikey Garcia proved that his defense, as far as body shots, being able to take away certain things from Errol Spence Jr. is a good key as well. Mikey Garcia proved to be a top-notch fighter, an elite level fighter. Errol Spence was just a little bit too much, too big, too strong. And, the reach and size advantage came into play as a huge factor in this fight. I think game plan was a huge factor. I think Mikey Garcia should have came in with the more, better game plan. I think that looking at this game plan, I just don't understand why Mikey Garcia didn't utilize lateral movement more. Mikey Garcia sat there in the pocket too much, too often. And as I called from the very beginning, when this all started, I stated that Mikey Garcia he absolutely needed to utilize lateral movement. So in every video that I've ever made in regards to Mikey and Errol Spence Jr., I've always stated he needed to utilize lateral movement, and Mikey Garcia did not do that. Mikey Garcia fought this fight similar to the way that he fought all of his fights. When he fought Robert Easter Jr., he fought similar, but the problem with this is Errol Spence Jr.'s weight and size advantage was too much to overcome in being able to get on the inside and work and walk through those shots. So Mikey Garcia had to be more tactical than usual, and that cost him the fight because Mikey Garcia was not able to up his work rate. Mikey Garcia is an elite level fighter with a high IQ, so he doesn't waste a lot of punches, but the problem is that is what cost him this fight because he was not able to land those punches that he could up his work rate. His work rate was just too low. It was just not enough to stay on pace with Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. fired shots at will, and the size advantage ultimately became too much for Mikey Garcia. It was a fantastic fight. It went the distance, but both guys are great competitors, and Errol Spence Jr. dominated the fight by winning the vast majority of the rounds impressively. Although Mikey Garcia did back up Errol Spence Jr. at points, I still can't see it any other way than a clean-cut victory for Errol Spence Jr. He had a great game plan, fought a phenomenal fight. He's fought a smart fight, and that's why we call it a 50-50 fight. Congratulations to Errol Spence Jr. He showed, he can beat a guy coming up 2 weight divisions. Once again, Unbiased, as always, it's the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.